Hey everyone, welcome. It's Kevin, and I'm ready to help you build your wealth, master your money, and invest it. Actually, that just sounds like a pitch. No, it's not. I'm just here to hang out and chat. I got myself some Coke, and I figured we can talk a little bit. While folks join, because this is a live stream, I figured I'd also want to quickly start with three things that I think we can all really take away from this pandemic, hands down. Certainly three things that I've taken away from this pandemic. Okay, well, first of all, 2020 sucks, but that's like baseline. That's like number zero. No, the first big thing is we can't rely on this government. Congress sucks. Our government sucks. Nobody can get anything done. And so if there's something that I want to start with tonight, it's just saying, what can we do to increase our income today? Now, I made a video the other day about a side hustle where you can make $200 within 15 minutes with 3D scanning. I've made other side hustle videos. I talk about becoming a licensed lender. I talk about becoming a real estate agent in this country. Just the amount of potential opportunities that exist out there for you not only to smash the like button, everybody says that, but also for you to increase your income, because that's such a big thing. We just can't rely on this government. It sucks. You know, I look at all the craziness that's going on in our country right now, not just the divisiveness, but the racism and the protests and you know, the brutality we see from all sides. It's terrible. And to me, a lot of it comes down to this first subject. It comes down to incomes. So whatever we can do ourselves to try to take control of our own lives and increase our income, I think, number one, folks, if you're watching this right now and you're like, Kevin, like what? Number one thing that you could do from home that I'm thinking of right now, consider becoming a lender. There is so much demand for loans. So much demand for loans. You know, I like the real estate agent gig too, but not everybody likes talking to people. I like the 3D scan gig. There's so many things to do right now, but really think about that. What can you do? Second thing that I want to mention that I've been thinking about is what's so weird is looking back at all of the stocks I bought, all of the properties I've bought. Every single time I buy a stock or a property, I'm scared. I'm like, oh crap. Like, what if this is the worst decision ever? And it's so weird, but in time, the decisions look good. And it's also easy. I mean, it feels easy to like buy Tesla and Apple when they're like doing this. But then it's kind of like, oh, I don't know. It always feels like any investment I've ever made in my life has always felt like, oh, I don't know. Is this a good deal? Is it a good deal? And it's always let a few years go by, and looking back, generally my investments have all been very, very good investments, with the exception of the time I made a general contracting company to be sort of a side gig for my real estate business. Yeah, if you're ever thinking about doing that, don't do that. And the third thing I want to say is, for everybody who watches my channel, I think you all know I'm gung-ho about real estate. And there's one thing that I feel like I can say with certainty, and that's no matter what happens over the next decades, I'm confident that buying real estate in an area with ideally declining poverty and increasing population, good thing. Very, very good thing. So those are my three starting tidbits, but I want to answer some questions. Well, let's answer some questions for y'all. How's the Tesla investment? Tesla's great. Apple and Tesla are splitting tomorrow. Well, the share prices are going to show up as effectively split tomorrow, which is exciting. Being a lender right now a good thing, considering the defaults and foreclosures and unemployment? You know, that's a legit question. I still think it is, because look, you've got 7% of the market, 7.4% of the market of home loans in forbearance. I would venture to say 90% of the people taking forbearance aren't going to get foreclosed on. Forbearance, if you have not yet taken forbearance, I say this in like every video, take mortgage forbearance. It's literally free freaking money given to you by the government. There's no reason for you not to take forbearance. Dave and Buster, if when we get through this pandemic, I so strongly believe you're going to see Dave & Buster's in every mall. There's so many empty malls. They're going to take their small store concept and they could blow up. You can't go heavy on them though, because they could also go BK. That's the tough thing. Chinese e-commerce stickers have been amazing and undervalued. Yeah, I don't do anything outside the United States. I don't understand it. Paul here says he's a lender. You know, a lot of talk right now, folks, about an Amazon stock split. In fact, we're going to pop the Coke on that. Oh, that was cool. I wasn't expecting to do that. I don't know if you can even see that on the camera, but yeah. There's a lot of hype for Tesla right now, because seriously, a lot of people are saying, Kevin, you know what happens if for Amazon, if Amazon ends up doing a split? that could end up looking pretty cool because there was such a run up with Tesla and Apple. Yeah, and thank you for sharing the love for the beard. I will say, I'm always nervous because I'm worried that the beard is too unprofessional. Let me know what you guys think, because it's gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna probably have to like trim it or shave it. I haven't yet though. This is good. Where's Mitch? I love my Coke. Right next to this, the Topo. The Topo is actually a little more fizzy today than the Coke is. Anyway, if you could tell 20-year-old Kevin something, what would it be and why? That's a brilliant question. So it actually goes back to what I kind of started this video out with. When I was 20 years old, I was buying my first property. I think we may have just closed. But I had so much fear. I was so mad that because I was a new real estate agent, I'd get like mad and bitter about somebody stealing my deal or like somebody else got the listing. And I remember, I'll never forget standing in a bathroom doing drywall with my mud pan and doing drywall because I had no money. I was broke. So I'm doing all the fixes in the house myself. And I'm like, man, the other guy got this listing. Had I tried harder, that would have been like an $8,000 commission. And I'm sitting here doing drywall, basically for $15 an hour. And I was so bitter. And if there was one thing I could tell myself when I was 20 and broke, it was, don't be bitter. As long as you consistently buy, you got to have those no's in life to have the great yeses. My father-in-law always says, if you need confirmation of that, just watch The Twilight Zone, their version of heaven, aka hell. It was a great one. Do I play RuneScape? When am I getting married? I've been married. RuneScape, I don't. I love it. I love RuneScape, though. I don't do oil stocks. I don't do commodities. Can you build a new home with an FHA construction loan? I got to ask you, why? Why would you do new construction? And I don't want to make you feel bad. I'm just saying, the amount of stress. Oh, my gosh. Hello. Welcome. I feel like I'm in a Coke. Every time I do a video and I mention something, somebody says that. I feel like I'm in a commercial. Look at my Insta360 video. I did the 3D scanning business, the make $200 in 15 minutes. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is an ad. And I just love the product. I have so much passion for Matterport and doing the 3D scans because I just did one. Pelosi Metro. I haven't heard. That'd be interesting to follow up on. Make it rain. That's what we need to get. We just need to get virtual. I need to be able to do this on here and then dollars show up in your bank accounts. If we could just do that with stimulus checks, that would be the way to do it. Peloton's okay. I think Peloton, 3 more subscribers to, I think you mean 3,000 more to 800,000. Yeah, hit subscribe. Favorite investment platforms for index funds. Oh, this is an easy one. Okay, so 2. One is Wealthfront. Wealthfront is pretty good if you're brand spanking new and you're like, I have no idea where to start. I want to invest, but I don't know where to start. Totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's totally natural. But Wealthfront makes it so easy for you because you can basically, they invest your money into a basket of index funds. It's 10 different index funds, which is awesome. And then my classic favorite, I'm going to pull this one up really quick. I love using M1 Finance. And I pick my own index funds. So I kind of have my own index funds of index funds. I've mentioned this before. I'll quickly say it. So if you go to metkevin.com/basket, you see this. And it shows you 35% in QQQ and 25% in the Russell. And I sort of broke them up like that. That's my M1 Finance. And it's sort of what I put in the basket there. But anyway, yeah, that just gives you a quick little example. Silver, gold, I don't touch it. I don't do commodities. I see the questions. I saw the question 17 times. Yeah. Be careful with IPOs. Very, very volatile. Something to be careful of. Look at Lemonade. Lemonade IPOs, and it goes from $48. It comes out of the gate, goes straight up to $92 a share, and now it's sitting at $59 a share. It's how could you IPOs so volatile because there's so few. Should I get life insurance? I feel like people are gonna think y'all are plants. They're going to be all these people asking Kevin questions are just trying to get Kevin to say, yeah, go to metkevin.com/life and sign up for life insurance. And as long as I think it's a great idea. I mean, I have life insurance too. I have a real estate management software that I developed. Would love to share it with you. What software do you currently use to manage your real estate? Oh, yeah. What I would say is, why don't you post some details in the Discord? Any of y'all, by the way, could join Discord. There's a public section. I try to be in there as much as possible when I'm not making lectures for the courses. But go to metkevin.com/chat and you could join Discord. There's a general real estate, general stocks. We got a lot of good conversations in there. Lauren and the kids are on their way back. It's going to be fun. Thinking, by the way, of doing some videos on Neo and some of the other ones. You know, people always try to figure out if I'm left or right or what am I. Honestly, I don't even know. Just because there are things that I get pissed off with on both sides. There are things that I like on both sides. Like, that would be the worst thing about ever running for office, is having to choose. I was just having a conversation with somebody about that yesterday, and I'm like, that's the toughest thing, is how do you even choose? That's probably the worst thing. Oh, really appreciate that, Rebecca. Thank you so much. $12. You guys are awesome. That's cheers. Rocket Mortgage, I love it. Rocket Mortgage will continue to do very well. If you want to stock, Rocket Mortgage will continue to do well as long as interest rates trend downwards. I do not believe, I'll pull it up really quick. I don't believe Rocket Mortgage ticked up after the Fed basically said we're going to see low rates this entire decade. Remember, folks, this is the decade of frugality. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be spending money. Yeah, see, Friday Rocket Mortgage went up about 4.8%. That's pretty good. Here's kind of the chart of Rocket Mortgage since it IPO'd. Oh, wait, I can't. There we go. Push that button. Okay, I'll pull it up here one sec. Rocket Mortgage, I do like, though. It is an investment of mine. About maybe like 3% of my portfolio or something like that's in Rocket. So here's my watch list. So here's Rocket. It literally rocketed up to $28. This was insane, though. Like, I mean, my price target for them is 30, but I really like buying them under 23. It was a long time to buy that, but now at 28, it's a little pricey, I will say. But then again, everything's pricey. Like, everything is just so much pricier than it's been. It's just like, I think the digital dollar will be very interesting, especially with the Fed. We'll see what happens with that. It's, I don't know if that's going to like legitimize Bitcoin or whatever. I have a hard time with cryptocurrencies, just mostly because, I really love my productive assets. Oh, that's awesome. My portfolio has Coke, weed, speed, and beer. Decertified. I don't know about decertified. That sounds diversified. Can you do more mortgage forbearance if you have a cosigner? I mean, I don't see why not, but I would talk about that to your cosigner first. Lauren's not here. I'd love to bring her in, but she's not here. That would be cool. I should do a live stream with Lauren. Coke with Kevin and Lauren. That's it. I have suggestions for somebody who wants to get into trades. Oh, the trades. David, all right, here. This is important for everyone, okay? If you're thinking about getting into the trades, you got to first of all ask yourself, why? If you're going to get into the trades, you are always going to be trading your time for money, right? It's not like, oh, I got a faster iPhone. I can now do 6 real estate deals at the same time as I used to be able to do 5. There are only so many nails you could shoot at a time. And so you will always be capped on your income. However, if you get into the trades, you could eventually become a licensed contractor, and then that's when you could start making bank, because then you could start having other people work for you and you get that scale. But really, the trades they can be a great way to go if you specialize. Think about it this way. Here in California, you could probably, if you were working for somebody and you were specialized, you can make $35 to $40 an hour. Specialized electrician, plumber, working for a company, getting payrolled. You were on your own as a plumber, and you ended up getting your own plumbing license or whatever. I mean, your income goes up to like $70, $80 an hour, right? But it's a lot harder to scale in construction. So keep that in mind. Very hard to scale in construction. If you are going to get in the trades, make sure you invest. Make sure you invest. Very, very important. And really, everybody should invest. When do you know it's time to pull money off the table? To me, I'm never taking money off the table. I always hear that line. Like, Kevin, everything's gone up so expensive. What, you got to sell something. You got to take some money. Why? No, keep investing. Invest. That's the one thing I always want to hammer home. That's why I got Thor's hammer here. Keep this around. Look, every year, this is a good one. I think y'all are going to love this one. And I'm not going to mention any names, because I love everyone. There consistently has always been, no matter how far you look back, it's every single year, it's recession 2021, it's recession 2020, it's recession 2019, it's recession 2018. Is this the month of the next crash, right? Always those sorts of videos. What's fascinating is the individuals who believe it consistently, they end up waiting like 10 to 15 years for a crash, and they never invest during that time. Whereas those who don't believe the next crash is always around the corner consistently invest. And even when the crash happens, they have more money in the pot to play with to invest more during the crash. I mean, think about it. What did I do when the market started crashing? As soon as the Fed on Sunday, I'll never forget, it was like March 6th or something. As soon as they emergency cut interest rates on a Sunday, I go, well, I've got equity in some properties. Let's refinance immediately and pull some money out so we could go buy stocks because stocks are about to get tanked. Sure enough, within 30 days later, the end of March, the beginning of April, stocks are at the lowest points ever. This is why just investing consistently and all the time is so, so important. You are actually more prepared for a crash when you have investments than when you don't. Crazy, crazy world. Crazy world. Put some sunglasses on. I don't even think I have sunglasses in here. I don't have that. I don't know. I don't got sunglasses in this office. Yeah. Turnkey properties. I get this one a lot. Don't buy turnkey. Turnkey sucks. You got to be very careful, especially if it was just flipped. Like if it was just done. It's one thing if it's been a rental for somebody for a while and it's been, fixed up or something like that and sort of been tested. But, sometimes you get these turnkey properties that are so cheaply done. It's terrible. Just be careful with options. Why would you sell your house? Tim Schmitz wants to sell his house. Why? Rent the thing out, and go buy something else. Well, here's a good one. What's the next EV stock? Tesla. Tesla is so far ahead of the competition, folks. It's unbelievable. I mean, just the autonomy, the transformation in the energy market, the power walls, the solar, unbelievable company. No, not Workhorse, Nikola. Nikola's got potential, man. When they come out with that Badger, they could force a hydrogen fuel stationing market simply with their dual fuel electric and a hydrogen car. That gives Nikola a lot of potential. That's a good line. I only recommend working a trade if you love the trade you work for. Yeah. Right, so you got a union. That's all. That's not a bad idea. You get a good union or something like that. And you love what you do. Look, if you love working with wood, that's great. But just make sure you consistently invest. Definitely consistently invest. Okay, so SpaceX boosting Tesla. Maybe because it really shows you, it gives you sort of another look into the mind of Elon. The same, I would say, with Neuralink or whatever they've got. Brittany is now a loving sponsor. Oh, that's awesome. She joined in the member. What I will do in the future, by the way, is I'm thinking of just doing this like members kind of only chat. So like if you're a member of the channel, we could just have like members only live streams. Maybe at some point in the future, we'll see. That's that way. I mean, everybody could watch it, but just chat because this scrolls so fast. I feel like I'm ripping some of y'all off by not being able to answer all the questions. I did post 2 stimulus videos today. Let's do it. Let us talk a little bit about stimulus though. I want to touch a little bit because mostly that's also in the title. We've mostly just been talking about money, but I know a lot of people don't believe it. I think we're probably 50-50 on this, but I strongly believe we're going to see another stimulus package. No doubt before the election, there has to be. I mean, literally, you would be talking to zombies if we didn't see another stimulus package. And it'd be so unpopular not to finally do the stimulus checks. Like everybody expects the government to be late. Nobody expects the government to be fast. But in terms of actually doing stimulus checks and a package coming, I'm very optimistic on that. I'd put myself at 90% on seeing something like that. But honestly, probably not. I mean, a lot of updates will come here in September. This week will be interesting, probably more interesting next week, but we'll see. The next few weeks will be fun. But yeah, gosh, what a ride it's been trying to get Congress to do something. Any changes on mortgage forbearance? What kind of changes are you looking for? I mean, I say take it. Take the mortgage forbearance. You got to take it. It's great. Absolutely great. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to go heavy on any of these other EV companies. I get those questions like, hey, what about this EV company? What about this one? I'll do some comparison analyses soon, like Neo, some of these other ones, Workhorse. That'll come. I would say stay tuned for that, and then I could chat more about that. Are we getting the EIDL grants? That has not come up in the conversation for months. So I would say not very likely. I do think Airbnb will be a fun IPO, though. I do think that'll be interesting. But it could be overblown on the day of IPO. HVAC, great. Yeah, you can make good money there. gig worker. Oh yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Yeah, but seriously, Airbnb, I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets overbid for too long. It ends up having like a Twitter chart where it goes up and then like down and up. Airbnb has potential. Really depends. Really depends on the long term. Abbott Labs, I would love it if they could get this quick test out to everyone, folks. I want to go back to normal. Lauren and I are like, let's go. Let's go to a restaurant. Let's be normal again. How about some like brown bread at the Cheesecake Factory with that sweet warm butter? Well, actually, they usually bring out the butter cold, so you have to like put the butter in your hand until it's a little soft. But then you can put it on warm bread. Yeah. The only way I do any kind of 5G is through like Apple, maybe AT&T. Like if I was just going to go dividend heavy, but I don't want dividends because then you pay all these taxes. Dividend income, I will say, it's like a topic that comes up all the time on YouTube. But gosh, folks, when we get this next round of stimulus, take it and invest if you can. Whatever you can do to invest, such a big thing. I always want to do that. And I get this question a lot. The thoughts about what about the housing market? Like, what's the scoop with the housing market? I'm optimistic. I mean, this year I have bought more real estate in any year of my life. I'm going to do probably a walkthrough video over the next few days of some of the properties that Lauren and I have bought just in the last few months. And I'm huge for real estate. Always in the long run is real estate great. I love it. Oh yeah, the coupon code does expire tomorrow for the courses. Those are linked below. Good mention them. The payroll tax cut. Seriously, like I liked my idea. There were a lot of people in the comments. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. There were some people in the comments that didn't like my idea. I think every company should literally do the payroll tax cut for all of their employees making under $4,000. Take the payroll tax cut money, put it into a high yield savings account, put it into an escrow account or a trust account, something to where it's like your boss is going to steal it from you, right? And then as soon as the payroll tax gets forgiven, boom, here's everybody's stimulus check from the payroll tax cut. Because if you don't do that, you're probably going to lose it. It's probably going to be use it or lose it. And that's the sad thing, right? A lot of people aren't doing it because they're worried, what if it doesn't get forgiven? But if it does and you didn't take it, you don't get it. So you get screwed out of this basically free government tax money that they're wanting to give you. QQQ, of course. Great. Some of the questions here, like J Chen, I've seen that. I have no idea. Thank you for the conscious commitment. Says 100% agree on the payroll tax cut. And thank you, Christy, for saying the idea is genius. Sometimes I think I get depressed because I read the comments and so I feel like the negative comments stick in your brain a little bit more than the positive ones. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Call Me Stacy. Don't worry about it. Look, Call Me Stacy says she bought Tesla for $113. 2 years later, I'm sorry, $103. 2 years later, sold it. The worst thing that we could do when it comes to investing is SOMO. SOMO is the sadness of missing out. There are so many, and remember, one of the early things I said in this video is don't be sad about the money you didn't make on a deal or the investment money you didn't make on a deal or your video that didn't go viral. Like, whatever, it's all good. We get to make another one, as long as you're healthy and you can make another one. I think that's more important than anything, and just keep taking stabs at things. It always ends up balancing out. It's kind of funny in the long run how it balances out. But it's so easy to get caught up in all the, man, wish I sold Kodak when it was at the peak. Man, wish I bought in at Dave & Buster's at 11. Or what about when it was at 4? Crazy. So, yeah. DoorDash plans to IPO. Wow. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Now's the time to do it. You have to be careful with DoorDash, though, because I think their numbers are going to be so high because of the pandemic. And then, what about when things go back to normal? I don't agree with everything ARK Invest says. I am obviously extremely bullish about Tesla with them. But, I mean, beyond their extremely bullish thesis on Tesla, which I do agree with, I don't know that I could say I'm any more impressed with them than Ray Dalio or Buffett or some of the others. So I'm not trying to say anything bad about them. And just, I'd rather pick my own stocks than throw it into, an ARK index fund. Yeah, I don't do gold and silver. I just don't. I just don't. And I mean, look, even though gold's been doing great over the last short term here, I'd rather just be into real estate and leverage up my money. That's the beautiful thing. It's hard to wire gold. You got to, if you store it, you got to store it with these companies and they charge you money. When you buy a gold coin, you're actually upside down money the day you buy it because they charge you for the minting of that gold, the packaging of it, and the shipping. It's all built into the price, right? You're never getting that spot price on gold. Then you could buy index funds of gold or whatever. I get it. You could buy like IAU and stuff like that. I don't know. Not me. No, I gotta be. Here's my craziness. Okay. Here's what I do. I buy Tesla, Amazon, Etsy, Apple, Peloton, Redfin, because those are companies that I hate to include Redfin into what I'm about to say because they're kind of like a hedge. But anyway, these are companies that I believe in and I'll go heavy on those companies. In the meantime, I hedge myself with real estate. See, I keep I don't like over leveraging my real estate. So I keep some real estate paid off and some real estate paid down. So that way, in the event there is a stock crash like we had in March, I can always go real estate, take some money out of real estate, put it into stocks. If there's a real estate crash and not a stock crash, because they don't always happen at the same time, I could go over to my stocks and go, okay, I'm taking some money from stocks and buying real estate. That's my diversity. That's what I love. That's what I love. Roof stocks, a no, too expensive. Etsy, I haven't bought much Etsy other than in the 1337. I really liked Etsy under 100. It's been beat up a little bit recently because of the California bills, which California is just kooky sometimes. Etsy's at 119. Let's see here. Let me look here. Oh, it's oversold right now in the last 3 months. It's oversold. Even in the last 6 months, it's almost oversold. There could be an opportunity on Etsy. If you're looking at just the RSI technical, and look at this, I'll share it with you. That's not horrible. I like this. RSI 35.20 here in the last 6 months. If I go to 3 months, we're oversold. We had a little bit of a bounce back on Friday before the close. It looks like, or maybe that's after hours. No, after hours are negative. Maybe. I liked Etsy at 100 though. And they still have a crazy valuation, but they don't have a crazy valuation like Lemonade. Lemonade's got an even crazier valuation. Lemonade's a little high. That's a lot. Okay. Ryan Lacey, 2 questions. Any advice in buying stock in Abbott because of the COVID kits? I worry that some of that might be priced in. And when a vaccine comes out, I worry that you're going to see a pullback in Abbott, right? Because we're really speculating on that. I don't do pharmaceuticals really, other than, maybe in like an index fund, but usually I don't do that. Waiting for updates on Pelosi and Meadows, honestly. But Abbott Labs, I would honestly rather buy recovery stocks than Abbott Labs directly. And so that's what I'm doing. Go to metkevin.com/recovery. And you'll see what I'm buying instead of Abbott. And I tell you, I had the same thought as you. We're on the same page, Ryan. Same page here. I was going to put Abbott Labs in the metkevin.com/recovery. And I didn't because of what I just said. Where's the Coke? I already used it all. No, just kidding. What else we got? I got it right here. Let's see here. Microsoft. The problem with Microsoft is they're so big. It's almost hard for them to consistently grow at a solid pace. You could say that about Apple too, but I really think Microsoft should see more growth, and it kind of makes you wonder, is Microsoft next? But I don't know. If I had to place bets, I would continue to say that Apple, Amazon, Tesla, some of these companies will outperform Microsoft. Certainly something like, probably some of the smaller stocks like Etsy or Redfin will probably outperform Microsoft in the short term. But I think Microsoft's a very safe stock. It gives you that safety. So I do like that about Microsoft. I like Microsoft a lot. You're right about the AWS, the new Xbox. Love it. Stay tuned on the Neo and Workhorse. I will do that. I promise. So anyway, I'm going to finish my Coke. And folks, I'm gonna see y'all next time. Really appreciate you coming to hang out on a Sunday. And folks, I'll see what kind of updates we got. Thank you so much. Really appreciate y'all. Thanks for being part of the pre 800K crowd.